Good morning, traders. So let's get cracking with the Aussie. Now, let's get these levels in. So this level that we were watching yesterday pretty much didn't offer much support at all, and the price just belted through that like a knife through butter. So the question now we need to ask ourselves is, where are we going? Okay. Now, we are still technically in a downtrend. Now, this trend line was broken, okay, and then we were expecting it as a retest yesterday, and the retest has failed. We're back below the trend line. Now, this is basically a bigger channel, so if I just copy that to there, you can see that's a bigger channel. But, guys, this can still be seen as a retracement, a retest of the break. I mean, the weekly is not over yet, okay? So we've still got quite a few days. So this thing could still move all the way down, and then all of a sudden the buyers step in and it closes above the channel, and it'll be seen as a retest. Okay. So from a technical perspective, you would be buying the retest, so you'd be buying the top of this bar here on the retest. So let's just have a look at where we're going. So, and let me just, before we say that, as far as I'm concerned, this has broken. We had a weekly close outside of this. Okay, the fact that we're coming back, to me, implies retracement, nothing more. Okay, so there's a couple of levels. So the first one is this Brooks gap, okay, which we are pretty close to. If I zoom in, we're very close to that level at this stage. And the second one that is of interest to me is this previous swing high from May 2016. So that is the previous swing high, and you can see how this level has held up price quite often on a weekly basis. You see that. Okay, now what I want us to do is just put a Fibonacci on here. Okay, so you'll see now how the Fibonacci lines up quite nicely, and I'll just block this out so we can see it on the lower time frames. So that is our 50% Fibonacci is there, and our 61.8 is pretty much on this major level here. So this would be first prize for me, where I'd be looking for longs to complete this retracement. That would be textbook perfect retracement. Okay, let's just get rid of the Fibonacci because this is going to get noisy, and let's move on to the daily. Okay, so daily you can see how we just hovered around the 200 moving average and then broke away with vigor. Now, the reason for the fall is all we can blame Italy on it. So the political turmoil in Italy is what's driving markets at the moment, and I think what you're going to find is most of the banks are going to be under pressure because, who owns Italy debt? And this is a big concern because if Italy pulls out of the EU and they drop the euro, obviously that's going to have major impact on their bonds, and which could turn out to be a pretty bad investment for whoever's holding Italy bonds. So that is a big concern. I mean, that's what's driving the banks at the moment. So that's where the panic selling is coming in. But as these things normally work out, the referendum will happen or the election will happen on the weekend, and everything will turn out fine. Everybody will be happy and holding hands and singing and dancing in the sunshine again. So, and the other concern is that we've got Trump still playing around with China, so the whole trade war resurfaced as well. Okie dokie. So we have we're pretty close to this level, and I just want to, so we just need to add another level here, which is this tail here. Okay, so that gives me a pretty strong zone of support that I'd be looking for. Okay, obviously first prize would be down here. Okay, this would be, for me, it would be the first prize for an entry long. Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay, on the 4 hour, we're going to have to add another level here, which would be that one and that one. Okay, so you can see now we're starting to hit areas where there is quite a bit of support. There's another one here which is pretty strong. We've got 1, 2, 3 tails, 4 tails on that line there, 5 tails. I'll almost be inclined to just delete that and then move that one to there. We've got all these tails here, there, and there. So those are our levels to the downside. And then obviously we've got this daily gap here, which sits below the 61.8. So that's also a pretty strong magnet. But remember, when it comes to gaps, these levels first, and then even this level first before gap. Okay, that's just the way it is. Price will move to each level before, and if a level breaks, then it goes to the next level. And the gap is really just yet another level. Okay, so what we have is pretty much, we do have diversions brewing on the 4 hour. You can see this is a double bottom at the moment, but it's not complete. So we need to watch what happens here. So let's get to the hour and see what we're going to do. Okay, so first things first, I'm definitely not short at this level. Okay, we have a Bollinger W forming. Okay, you can see how we've closed outside the Bollinger Bands here. We've gone up and we've come down and we've closed below the Bollinger Bands. Okay, now this is kind of a bit of after hours data in this candle here because we actually closed on the low pretty much there. We closed like 535 and the current price is 481, so we're pretty close to where we closed. We've got diversions here, we also have diversions here. Okay, which is kind of meaningless at the moment because you see how we had this divergence brewing here with the wedge break and then that failed. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is, I just need to go to the 4 hour for this one, is I just want to draw in, not that, we want to do this. So what we want to do is just put that trend line. I want to get rid of that bigger channel. Let's work in the, what's happening now rather than later, and copy that to there. Okay, so we have a bear channel at the moment and a very tight channel that we're running in. So you can see how every time prices got to this level, the buyers have stepped in. Okay, buyers stepped in, and then the buyers kind of stepped in a little bit at the close. But so I would suspect that we're going to bounce a little bit before another attempt at the bottom, or this is the bottom. Okay, let's just get to the hour. So we're at the 50% retracement, so there is a possibility that this sort of rallies a little bit at the open, or opens lower and rallies down a bit, and then finds a base and then moves to the upside. So that's a very, very distinct possibility. So what we want to do here is we want to watch price action on the lower time frames to see what's going to happen. Okay, now, as I said to you, I'm not really interested in short here. The risk is just too high, the reward is too low. If you are going to be looking for shorts, I'd rather look for shorts on this top of this channel here. So short and then down to the other side. We do have quite a few magnets here. Okay, so we've got the 61.8. We've also got the gap, which I haven't drawn in. Let me just put it in quick. I'll just make it a blue so we can see it. Okay, so we've got quite a few magnets to the downside. Okay, now it is possible for it to just tank, just break this and run down in a straight line. I mean, that is possible. We're going to need some more negative news to make that happen. So for now, I think what's going to happen is we will find some support here, and we will look for a move to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of the play that I'm looking for this morning, and I'll just run it. In actual fact, let me show you something on the 20 minutes. So the 20 minute gives you a pretty good indication of what's going on. So you can see here we have a double bottom here. Okay, you can see we have diversions, and we have awesome oscillator diversions at the moment as well. Okay, so all of this here is indicating that this is pretty close to a bottom. So we need to look at price action and take the long. Now, where is the long going to? So, as I said, for me, this area here is going to be the first area where we hit this trend line, and we'll see what happens at that trend line. Okay, the Bollinger W reversal pattern, which is in play here, and that only validates once we break this high. That is going to take us at a break, which is going to target sort of these pin bars here and this gap. Okay, so this is kind of the setup that I'm looking at here. I'm looking for a return to this channel line, okay, where it would be short again, and then short to see if we break below this level or if we come down to sort of a 50% or 61% retracement level. Okay. The other things that you need to worry about today is, delete that, and that, is we do have a couple of small targets here. So there's a Brooks gap there, and then obviously we need this high to break. Okay, that's kind of my play. Is I'll be watching here for a long to the top of the channel, and then probably short again to see what happens. So just bear in mind, if we do break this level and hit the top, then there is a possibility that we're going to break out. But what should happen is we should break this level, bounce off here, come back and find support at this level. If we do that, then you'd know that that's validated and we're moving to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what my play is today. Is I'll be watching this area for a long entry, and it is going to be counter trend, so watch it very closely, very tight stops, and going to be looking at these levels, and then obviously I'll take profit at the top of the channel, and then wait for a pullback, and then back in long if we sort of find support either here or here. Okay, that's kind of what I'll be doing today on the Aussie. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you guys later.